Hey, how's it going? Kenny here, and welcome back to Non-League to Giants and our return to the Promised Land, back to the Premier League, and our first game of the new season as well, at home to Chelsea. But before we get started with the first game of the season, there's been lots of transfers to talk about, lots of exciting new signings. Before we get started with that though, let's check out the season preview for the season. Well, the new season preview has us down to finish in 17th place, so with that taken into regard, the media certainly think we've got a good chance of surviving. Not a great chance, but definitely a chance. And the other team to get promoted with us, by the way, was actually QPR, who came up via the playoffs. Not really a team I was expecting to go up, but they're up nonetheless. And according to the media, they are just as strong as us, with a 7-1 odds to win the Premier League this season. Norwich and Sheffield United, on the other hand, though, are the two worst teams in the league. So with that taken into regard, we've definitely got a chance to stay up this season. And obviously, last time I was in the Premier League, we got relegated, had a terrible middle and end to the season. So this time around, I'm not going to make such ridiculous predictions after 10 games or so, saying that we've got enough about us to stay up in the Premier League this season because we won a couple of games. So yeah, I'll give it much longer before I say such stupid predictions. But according to myself, I think the team I have now here in the Premier League is much stronger than the team I had last time I was in the Premier League. So I'm very excited about our season this season, but of course, it's going to be difficult, but hopefully we can stay up. Anyway, let's get started with the transfers then. Lots of players have joined us, and also lots of players have left us as well. It's quite a bit of an overhaul, to tell you the truth, as you see here by all the players that have left us. Let's get to the players who have left us first of all. The first player to officially leave us was actually Elliot Matazzo. He has gone to Young Boys for 9.75 million. He was quite a good player. He was definitely a good player in the Championship, but he was no more than a squad player these days. And last time he was in the Premier League, he was pretty darn terrible. As you see there, with a 6.58 average rating. He's not really a player that I know I can trust. And also 9.75 million. It doesn't look like good of money, but it's pretty good. It almost, over trebles the money we paid for him from Bochum for 2.9 million backwards in the Premier League. So, although he was a decent player, Matazzo, nice bit of money for him, and also, as I said, can't really trust him in the Premier League. He was terrible last time. The next one to leave us was Emil Larsson. He's gone to Copenhagen for 4.1 million, potentially to rise to 5.25 million. When I signed him when he was in the Premier League, I signed him on deadline day. I know he doesn't look like much. I didn't think he looked like much then either, but I was desperate for a forward option. I thought, you know what, he might turn out to be a good player for us. Unfortunately, he wasn't quite a great player for us. He did alright for us in the Premier League. 5 goals, 3 assists, 6.73. Not too bad compared to the players we had there at the time. But last season, I didn't play him too often. He only played 7 games. Only started one of them as well. He just really fell down the pecking order. And the other players I've brought in his sort of positions are just a mile better than him. So decided to cash in on Larsson. Again, not great money, but improved. Got us profit on Larsson. Only signed him for 3.4 million. He's gone back to Denmark for just 4.1 million. As I said, looking at him now, he's definitely not going to be good enough to be a regular starter for us in the Premier League. So wise to cash in on him as well. Renier's also left us. He's on Trabzonspor in Turkey for 7 million. Another decent player, but he wasn't amazing in the Championship. 8 goals and 3 assists in 33 games. Only a 6.9 on average rating. Again, in the Premier League, it wasn't great at all. And I decided, you know what, we can't trust him in the Premier League either. So I got 7 million for him, which again is not a lot of money, but it's a lot of money compared to what we paid for him. 1.6 million only we paid for him, so to get 7 million was very, very nice. Also, 3 players have left us out on loan as well. 3 young players have gone out on loan to some lower league English clubs as well. In terms of the other permanent players who have left us, Noah Cooper has gone to Nantes on a free transfer. He was a young goalkeeper of ours, only 23 years of age now, but he obviously was not going to be good enough for the club. Only got on a free transfer, I believe. Yeah, so didn't really affect us in any way. Got him on a free transfer, loaned him out a few times, then we sold him on a free transfer. So Noah Cooper, unfortunately, didn't develop very well. And again, not going to be nowhere near good enough for us at the club. Not even as a backup goalkeeper, probably. Dig Bareku's gone to Genk for 5.5 million as well. Another one, looks alright, but in the Premier League, he was pretty much unusable. 24 games of 6.55. Only played 5 games last season as well. Again, pretty much doubled our money on Dig Bareku, so I'm happy with that business. Yakubu has gone to Feyenoord. One of our the first player to go to Feyenoord, sorry. He's gone there for 8.5 million. Happy with this signing. He's nowhere near a Premier League level player. Only played 30 games last season. Only scored 8 goals in 52 games for us. Not really good enough, is it? A lot of substitute appearances, but not going to be good enough for the Premier League again. A nice profit on him, so very happy with that business as well. Aguiar's the second player to join Feyenoord. He's gone there for $9.5 million, potentially to rise to $14.5 million. Was very excited when I signed him back in the Championship 2.5 seasons ago now. But he didn't develop very well, and also I think I overrated him a little bit. Saying that though, if he did develop, then he looked like a much better player now. But he's still quite young, 21 years of age, but he wanted to be a star player for us, which is not going to happen. And yeah, it's best to move him on. And again, great profit. Signed him for $4.1 million, sold him for $9.5 million. Was a good player though, but again, didn't develop too nicely, so I don't think he's going to be a great player in the future. Branko Panic, he's a new signing of ours, so I'll get to him in more detail in a second. Michael Dunn has left us to Barnsley for $250k. Had some promise about him back when he was in League One in the Championship, but again, didn't develop very well. Could have sold him for a lot more money than this a couple of years ago, so I'm a little bit disappointed with that. But yeah, now he just doesn't look much at all. So 250k is better than nothing. Jake Wright's on loan to Shrewsbury. Taylor Richards is on Middlesbrough for $2.5 million. Of course, I tried to sell him last season. He was a good player for us, then picked up like 3 or 4 serious injuries in a row. And yeah, just turned out to be unusable in the Championship with 6.47 for 9 games. He did go to Bristol Rovers on loan. They had the optional future fee of $5 million in there. They didn't match that, so we only got $2.5 million from him, unfortunately. He's on a Borough, though, in the Championship. And we had a lot of young players go out on loan as well. Again, a lot of them to lower league English clubs. Not really too much to mention about these players here. Kieran Paul, though, he's come out the youth system here, and he's developed really nicely, actually. But as you can see by him there, would you say he's a Premier League level squad player? I don't think so. I think he's right to be playing in the Championship still. So, yeah, hopefully he gets even better. And I think he could be a great squad player for us in the future. He's still only 20 years of age. Can play DM, centre mid and attacking midfielder as well. Of course, looking at him, he looks like a ball midfielder type, doesn't he? But not amazing just now. But yeah, I'm a little bit excited about him in the future in terms of a homegrown talent who can actually do something for us. I don't think he's going to be a great player for us or a regular starter, but definitely as a backup DM and a 4th choice centre midfielder, definitely worth looking into in the future. He's on loan to Swansea in Championship for the season. He started off at Fylde, went there in the Vanarama National, went to League One last season with Sheffield Wednesday, and now he's in the Championship with Swansea. So if he continues this progression, he may be in the first team next season. We shall see about Paul. Another one who's gone on loan to Swansea is another one who's come out of our youth system. That is Lookman. He was on loan at Sud Tirol last season in the Italian Serie B. He's now on loan to Swansea in the Championship as well. Hasn't quite developed as nicely as Paul, but he's still developing. He's only 20 years of age as well. So another little hope for another homegrown talent there. Albeit though they're not 2 wonder kids or going to be 2 amazing players. But as I said, they could be 2 useful squad players in the future. We shall see. Only one more permanent signing after that, actually. The other 3 after that were loan players, and also they're all 3 new players as well. So go into them in more detail in a second. Alex Scott, he's gone to Watford for $14.75 million, potentially to $19.75 million as well. He was a decent player, Scott, but after you see some of the players I've signed, he's fallen down the pecking order, and I wasn't actively seeking selling him, but when Watford came in for that bid, I decided that it was too good to refuse. Another great bit of business though. We signed him on a free transfer from Newcastle, and we got, well, close to 20 million for him after all the instalments. So yeah, very happy with that. He was a useful squad option, but as I said, for that sort of money, I couldn't turn it down, to be honest. So that was all the players that have left us. Now we'll get to the players that have joined us. Some very exciting players, some very exciting young players as well. The first one to join us is probably the most exciting of the lot. We got him for only $4 million. Another Uruguayan wonder kid to go along with Nesta Rocha. He only signed for $5 million. And yeah, he's very, very exciting. You look at him here, he looks unbelievable already. He's got 4 caps for Uruguay and 2 goals. According to the media, and according to my assistant manager as well, he's the best player at the club. So yeah, got very, very exciting times ahead for him, hopefully. Bad news is, because he's so good, we had to put in a minimum fee release clause in there. Clubs in the UEFA Champions League for just $36 million. That's kind of devastating. But hopefully, if he plays well this season, he's a really good player. Hopefully we can tie him down to a new contract in January or in next summer, and we can get rid of that such low minimum fee release clause, get it at least a bit higher, because I'll be devastated we lost him for that sort of money. Even though we signed him for only $4 million, he looks like a great player for us in the future. Also, what's great about Costa is he can play centre midfield and attacking midfield. So not that versatile, but if you look at his attributes here, he looks like a very versatile player in terms of his roles. So I've even toyed with the idea of playing him as a box-to-box midfielder because he's so good, and also he can defend, which is great. He's going to start off as the attacking midfielder, but I'm looking to sign another player. who plays primarily as an attack midfielder. So Acosta might be our box-to-box midfielder for the season, which might seem a little bit stupid because he's arguably our best player, but I just see him as a great fit for that role as well, and also as an attack midfielder. The possibilities are endless for Acosta with the roles in the midfield. He can also play as a ball midfielder if needed, so that is brilliant. He's a wonder kid as well. He's a model citizen. He's got both feet as well. He's just a great player for only 4 million. Absolutely unbelievable. The next player I actually signed was to do with Acosta, because Acosta demanded that I signed another player to help him settle. I was looking out for some other Uruguayan players. Of course, I couldn't find any as exciting as Acosta. Santiago Grana, he's definitely exciting. Cost 5.5 million. Signing from Penarol, who are also in Uruguay. Nowhere near as exciting as Acosta though. But he's only 18 years of age. I've put him on the loan list as well. Unfortunately, no one wants to loan him right now, so he's in the first team. And he's definitely got some promise about him. 19 determination is nice. He's also driven. 18 aggression. You look at his graph here. Looks like a ball midfielder, but I'm thinking about playing as a box-to-box midfielder going forward. Probably not going to get too much game time this season because he needs to develop, but he's still looking alright. To be fair, he doesn't look too bad. I think that he just about meets the requirements to be a squad player, but obviously I'd like to develop him further, so I don't think he'll get a loan out in this window, but maybe in January he might, and if not, be next summer. But yeah, 5.5 million only for Grana, although it's nowhere near as exciting as Acosta. He helps Acosta settle into the club, and also he's definitely got some potential about him, and he may be just one who will blossom a bit later in his teens and early 20s. So definitely exciting for the future, Grana. After that, another exciting youngster's joined us. His name is Branko Panic. He's signed from Red Star Belgrade for just £3 million. Very, very happy with this. He's 20 years of age only. He definitely could do a job for us in the squad, that is for sure. And I'm already toying with the idea of recalling him because I decided to loan him back to Red Star for the season. So you won't be seeing him till next season. Perhaps, depends if I'm recalling from loan or not, because we're just a tiny bit thin in the forward options here, so I might have to call back Panic, we shall see. But ideally I'd like to see him get a season there and get more development, but yeah, he's an exciting one for the future. 17 finishing, definitely stands out, and for just £3 million, brilliant bargain. The next one wasn't quite a bargain, but definitely an exciting player. He's a new record signing we have at the club. 27.5 million he cost, but I was desperate for a centre-back, and I signed him from Club Brugge, Celestin Verfali. And the great thing about Verfali is he can play anywhere down the in the defensive line, as you can see there, right back, centre back, or left back. Looking at him here, because of the fact that he can't really do too much going forward, I see him more as a centre back. But of course, he needs to work on his aerial ability. But yeah, he looks very, very exciting for the future. Just turned 19 a couple of weeks ago, and his versatility is great. Initially, I didn't sign him to be loaned out, but he wanted to be a breakthrough prospect in the contract. And then as soon as I signed him, some teams wanted to loan him for the season, such as Bournemouth, Fulham, and also Strasbourg, I believe. He's gone on loan to Bournemouth, who are obviously a very good championship team, for the season. So I'm happy with that, to be honest. He could play in the first team this season, but get him a season at Bournemouth in the Championship. Hopefully he can develop nicely and he'll come back an even better player. The great thing about Verfali as well is that he's got 18 determination, which is lovely. He's driven as well, and he's both-footed, and he's just turned 19. Can play anywhere down the back line. I may have just a bit overspent for him, 27.5 million, but you see by his value now, he's now at 50 to 72 million, so I probably haven't overspent, but 27.5 million, our new record signing, to then loan him out for a season does seem a bit foolish. But as I said, these sort of teams coming in for him, good championship teams, so he's going to get regular game time, more game time than what he'd get for us probably. I saw it as a too good to turn down. So hopefully next season he'll come back an even better player and be a regular starter for us. The next player I signed was much cheaper. His name is Bruno Espinosa. Got him from Colo Colo in Chile. Got him for only 850k. The sad thing about him is that he hasn't got a work permit, as you see there. He's gone on loan to Macarthur FC, though, for the season in Australia, because he hasn't got a work permit. Well, of course, he's not much use to us now anyway. Whether he'll be good enough to be our first choice goalkeeper in the future is questionable. But for only 850k, definitely worth the risk. Worst case scenario, we'll sell him for good profit down the line. So not a very exciting signing, but only 850k. Can't go wrong with that. The next one I signed was very cheap as well, 4.3 million only. Igor Bilalic, signed from St. Louis City in America. He is American, but because of his name, he is also Bosnian as well. Other nationality is Bosnian. He's a full American international though. He's got 5 caps for America. And also, a great thing about him is he can play left back or centre back, which is great. Looking at him, he looks more like a centre back. And the fact that he's 6'6" as well, definitely looks more like a centre back. But we are lacking in left back options so far this season. So decided he's going to start off as our number 1 left back, battling out Comey for that position because of our centre backs we've got at the club now. And but easily could be put back as a centre back going forward. Also plays as a centre midfielder as well, which is great as a ball midfielder. But at the moment, he'll start off as a left back. Not so exciting this signing, but very cheap, as I said, 4.3 million. And also, he's a pretty good player. Can play left back or centre back. Still only 22 as well, so he might improve. But for the price, very happy with this signing. The next signing probably rivals Acosta for the best signing, to be honest. Very, very close second in my opinion. Got him from Club America in Mexico for just 10.75 million. This was a little bit of a punt, to be honest. He wasn't really that interested in joining us. It was extremely doubtful in the scouting there, and he was much more interested in joining Stuttgart, I believe, and some other team. But for reasons unknown, they withdrew their bid, or they rejected their bid. Something happened. We were the only team left in for him. So he decided to join us in the end. And he's a very, very exciting player. He's our new striker. And if you look at him here, he looked great. He looks really, really great. I was ideally looking for a striker who's good in the air. But Albita is just too good to turn down. He's just a great, great player. Of course, he's not useless in the air. He can still header a ball. But he's just not dominant in the air. 5'10", 10 jumping reach. But it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing, that is for sure. And the great thing about him is he can play with centre midfield and attacking midfield as well. 16 finishing. Great dribbling, first touch and technique as well. 15 composure. Still only 22 years of age. He's only got 4 caps for Mexico, which I'm a bit surprised about. I'm sure he'll get more. But yeah, he looks like a great, great player to have. And finally, this time around in the Premier League, we've got a couple of decent strikers. David Helm wasn't really a Premier League player last time he was in the Premier League. He was a number 1 striker for that season. I actually want to compare him to Albita, actually. Yeah, if you actually compare David Helm, who was our number 1 striker last time we went into the Premier League, with Albita is just, well, he's just a mile better than him, isn't he? He's just a mile better than him. Of course, Helm was better in the air, a lot better in the air, but he is 6'6". But Albita is just so good that it doesn't really matter about his aerial ability to me. Of course, if he had great aerial ability as well, he'd just be a freak, wouldn't he? He'd be unbelievable. And also, he's still developing, of course. When I say unbelievable, of course, he's not a world-class striker, one of the best strikers in the league. But we're talking about Portsmouth here, a team who's expecting to attempt to avoid relegation. For us, he looks unbelievable. So yeah, very excited about Albita. And as I said, 10.75 million. He definitely rivals Acosta as our best signing this season. Next one we signed was Nikola Iliev. Got him from Ludogorets in Bulgaria for just £4 million. Not an amazing signing, but for the price, £4 million. Very happy with this. He's a versatile player as well. Can play on the left, can play up front, can play as an attack midfielder as well. He's going to start off as a squad player, as a rotation player to have, but he's a pretty good player, to be honest. And as I said, for £4 million only, very happy with this signing. The next one I signed was very exciting as well. His name is Dragoliob Kostadinovic. I think I'm going to call him Kostad for the season because Kostadinovic is too much of a mouthful for me. I got it from Kukuriki for just £2 million. £2 million. Doesn't look amazing yet, but he is going to be amazing. I'm telling you, he's going to be amazing. He's only 18 years of age, got 2 caps for Serbia already. He can play with centre-back, left-back, right-back, or DM, which is brilliant. Already he's got some very, very good attributes to talk of. Of course, he needs to develop some more. His speed is a bit of a concern, which I don't like. I've got him working on his speed in training, so hopefully he can improve in that regard. Also, the fact that he's only 18 makes me very excited. He's going to start off as one of our starting centre-backs this season. He's got good defending attributes, good physically as well, and aerially, of course. He's got 17 determination as well, which is very nice. He's got good composure, which is great for a ball-playing defender. So, yeah, he's got all the attributes to be a great one in the future. Of course, ideally, I'd like him if he was like third choice centre-back, to be honest. He can play right-back and left-back as well, so he get plenty of game time. But lacking a little bit in the centre-back department, not too much. So he's going to start off as one of the starting centre-backs. But, we've got some good covering in the position as well. So we'll see where we go going forward. But, yeah, very excited about Kostad here. He looks like a great player. One of the bad things about him, though, is the fact that he's a mercenary, which I don't like to see. He's got bad personality, but I've got him some mentoring, so hopefully we can get rid of that personality soon, and we can get a good egg on our hands here. He's bow-footed as well. A lot of the players I've signed are bow-footed, which is Useful. You can play with left side of centre back or right side of centre back, and also as a left back or right back. Don't need to play him as an inverted wing back or anything. So yeah, that's definitely a massive bonus. The only thing I don't like though is his personality. Also, his heading ability is a bit poor, only 9, and of course his pace is a little bit poor. But other than that, he looks like a great one for the future. And right now, of course, we signed him for £2 million, and he's now worth 51 to 65 million. So yeah, no matter what happens, it's a great signing. 2 more signings after that. The first one's a little bit sentimental to me because I'm sure not a lot of you watched last season's non-league to Giants with Hereford. Any of you, to be honest. But one player I did sign with that save was Mihai Marius Andreas. And he popped up again in this FootballManager, of course. I know about naming the game. So obviously some people who work on FootballManager in any sort of way get their name in the game, so he's obviously one of those people. And yeah, he's not as exciting as last year, last FM, because even though I signed him for Hereford, we were in the Premier League at that time, established Premier League team, and yeah, he was an unbelievable player. He's a world-class player. I think I sold him to Bayern Munich in the end for like 100 million or something. So this Marius Andreas is not as exciting as that one. He's 20 years of age, but he's definitely got some potential about him, which is great. He's gone back on loan to Cluj for the season to continue his development. He's just turned 20 as well, so who knows? He could be a great player for us in the future. The other one I had, though, was ridiculous. But he's very, very cheap. Only signed him for 3.7 million, so again, not too much of a risk, this one. Hopefully he comes back and is a good player for us. We shall see about that. And last, but definitely not least, the last permanent transfer of the season so far is a new centre-back, Jean-Paul Van Hecker, who plays for Brighton in real life. We signed him for 12.5 million from Wolfsburg. We were lacking a little bit in the centre-back department. I signed a lot of good potential centre-backs who could be great in the future, but I was lacking a little bit in the first team ready now centre-back. So Van Hecker certainly ticks that box, which is great. He's a lot better than Schlotterbeck, and he's better than Cresswell as well. So great signing, and also he fits into my system nicely. He's a good ball-playing defender, good composure. He's got decent passing as well, good jumping reach. 12.5 million, he's 29 years of age, but of course, we can get 4 or 5 good seasons out of him. So yeah, very happy with this signing as well, and I'm happy overall with the signings I've made. Not quite done though. I've got 2 players who are joining in January, both from Millonarios in Colombia. The first one who's going to join us is Wilder Andaquia. He's going to be our new left back. As you look at him now, doesn't look amazing as of yet. Got good physical attributes though, but even in this short period of time, he might develop quite nicely. And again, I think he's going to be a great left back for us in the future. Can't remember how much I signed him for. Yeah, £3.4 million plus instalments, and yeah, I'm excited to get him in. Of course, he can't join us just yet because he's below 18. You can't move from South America to a European club, I believe, below the age of 18. So he'll join us in January when he turns 18. So that'll be a nice player to get in. Whether I'll loan him out or not is a different question. I haven't quite decided about that yet. He really looks like he's almost ready for first team football if he's not ready at all yet as a backup left back. So we shall see. But yeah, excited about this one. And the other one to join us from Millonarios is Rodrigo Moreno for just £1.5 million. Arguably more exciting than Andaquia. If you look at him here, he's a versatile player. He can play ball midfielder, DM, centre midfield, DM, and centre back as well. Funnily enough, though, I see him more as a left back. Of course, we signed Andaquia, who's a left back from the same club. But Moreno, I'm thinking about training him as a left back, retraining him as a left back. He's obviously left-footed, and I feel like he could be a good left back for us in the future. We shall see. Because of course, we've got Guevara, he can play as a ball midfielder, but also I feel like he could be a good box-to-box midfielder for us in the future as well. We shall see. But yeah, those two will be joining us in January. Both only 17. Of course, don't look amazing as of yet, but I think they're both very close to be first team regulars for us. So when they sign in January, they might come straight into the first team. I might loan them out. We shall see. But for the future, very exciting. And also another player who should be joining us, we shall see, is Desiree Doué from Leicester for £8.5 million. Lacking a little bit in the attacking midfielder positions this season. So yeah, he looks ideal for me. He's the player I said that he suits more the attacking midfielder role than the box-to-box midfielder role. So Acosta might get moved back to the box-to-box midfielder, and Doué as attacking midfielder. Obviously, they're both playing poor in their positions. I can swap them around, or I can rotate them during the season. Acosta is obviously more exciting than Doué, but I like Acosta's defending ability, so he may be the box-to-box, and Doué be the attacking midfielder. Doué wasn't too excited to join us. He wanted to join Marseille more, I think it was, or Lyon. Might be Lyon, actually. But we're the only team to go in for him at the moment. So hopefully we get him. Doué, of course. Some of you may be familiar with his name. He actually featured in my top 10 best wonder kids at the start of the season. He's going to have a great future ahead of him, it looks like anyway. Unfortunately, he hasn't turned out quite the player he could do. That is because Leicester absolutely ruined him with playing him never, which is just absolutely ridiculous. You look at him here. Why did they never play him? Very, very bizarre. But he's still a good player. He's still 24, so he might get a little bit better. We shall see. So, yeah, excited to get him in. But unfortunately, he's not quite the player he should have turned out to be, because he turned out to be a full French international, lots of games, a world-class player as well. He's not a world-class player, but he's definitely a good player. So that is all the signings. That's the players who will be joining us. And obviously, Doué, he might be joining us as well. I'm very happy with the signings, as I said. Got 14 million left in the bank, and also 83k in the wage budget. But of course, if Doué signs, most of that will be gone. In terms of the squad, only one more new addition, and he is being called up for the under-21s, and that is Garmin Shannon. Not going to be a world-class player, but definitely good enough to be a backup player. He's developed very nicely in the last couple of years. Only got him for 750k from Man City. He was on loan at FC23 last season in the Dutch second division. He's come back a much better player, so I decided to call him up for the first team, get a bit of homegrown talent in there. Of course, he didn't come for our youth system, but local talent, Welsh, get him up in the first team. Signed a lot of South American players, so Shannon's up to the first team now. Backup attacking midfielder, but he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He might not look that great, but if you actually compare him with Alex Scott and Renier, he comes out just as good as those two. So as a backup player, I'm very happy with that. Anyway, that is enough babbling on for me. Let's get started with the first new game of the season. It's a very tricky one at home to Chelsea. Also, another one I forgot to mention is Wallens, of course. We had him on loan last season. I decided to get him on loan again for this season as well. He's on loan from Newcastle for the season. He's got a minimum fee, optional future fee, of 25 million in there. So if he does really well, I may sign him for 25 million pounds. But he's not as good as some of the attacking players we've got, such as Rocha or Acosta as well. But he's only 21 years of age, so he might get even better yet. And he was just great for us in the Championship. Involved in 27 goals, 17 goals and 10 assists, 9 player of the matches as well. So he was very good for us, on loan to us for the season. And he was good enough, I'll sign him permanently. Unfortunately, though, he's the only player to start off with an injury. He's out for 5 days. He's missed the entire pre-season, which is annoying. But got good cover in that position with Rocha. So should be all right. But he'll be back soon, which is great. Anyway, in terms of the team sheet, Kappenberger starts in goal for the season. I don't really want to sign a new goalkeeper. Kappenberger, he had his moments last season, but he's definitely got great potential. So he's getting his chance in the Premier League. Right back is Gonzalez. Left back is Belalic. Then we've got Kostad and Van Hecker in centre-backs. Then we've got Guevara, Ollison and Acosta in midfield. Rocha on the right wing, Bakwa on the left wing, and Albita up front. So in terms of debuts today, we've got Belalic, Kostad, Van Hecker, so 3, Acosta and Albita all making their debuts today. So 5 new players making their debut. We've also got Shannon, Granat and Iliev on the bench as well, who could potentially make their debuts as well. So Chelsea at home, I decided to stick with the same tactic. I'm staying positive as well. I decided, you know what, at home against some teams, we'll stay with positive mentality. Of course, throughout the season, that may change, but I decided I'm not going to change the way we play. Last time I was in the Premier League, it was more negative football. I decided we're going to stick with a positive style of play, especially at home. Away from home, of course, I may tweak things a little bit against the bigger clubs, but for now, I'm sticking with the mentality. Let's see how we get on. Chelsea at home. Can we win our first game of the season? Let's find out. Before we get started with this game, guys, please remember that if you like the video, hit that like button for me. If you're still watching at this point, then you must like the video a little bit. So do us a favour and please hit that like button for me. It really does help me out a lot. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out as well, and it's much appreciated. So let's get started then at home to Chelsea. It's a very tricky game to start off the new season with, to be honest. But we've got to play these teams at some point, so why not on the first game of the season? Last time we was in the Premier League, we started off away to Southampton, our fierce rivals, of course. So this time round, it's much more trickier. Here's Belalic, seen him for the first time. We've got 2 giant fullbacks as well, by the way. We've got Belalic, who's 6'6", and then Gonzalez, who's 6'5". So, yeah, should win their aerial battles, which is nice. Or aerial duels, should I say. Here's Havertz, still playing for Chelsea. Apparently, he's second favourite to get top goal scorer. I think you can guess who is favourite to be top goal scorer in the Premier League still. Yeah, Erling Haaland. But Havertz, apparently, is the second best striker, so a bit worried about him. Also, they've got Bellingham in midfield as well, who, of course, is just absolutely insane in real life and in FootballManager as well, so a bit nervous about that. Diogo Jota has scored, but I'm pretty sure he was a mile offside there. Of course, back in the Premier League now, we're getting VAR back. No VAR in the Championship. It's disallowed. They scored after 3 minutes, which is a little bit concerning, but as I said, he was a mile offside, so... Oh my word, maybe he wasn't a mile offside. I did not really count number 31 there, who is, I'm not sure, maybe Gonzalez. Well, despite that highlight we saw, we actually started off as a little bit of the better team. The match momentum is swinging our way, so at the moment things are going alright. And back on the highlight again, will we see a chance for us here? Here's Rocha. Of course, he's the one, the kid we signed in January. Oh my word. Alberto almost got his head to the ball, didn't almost score, did he? Didn't have a shot, Kenny, what we're talking about. Anyway, here's Reece James, still playing for Chelsea as well. I guess we can expect that in the year 2030 in real life as well. Ooh, that's a nice cross, but Van Hecker got there before Havertz. Well, apparently we're having a bit of the better match momentum in the game, but the highlights we're seeing are really for Chelsea at the moment. We're staying on the highlight though. Do we have a chance to build up an attack? Here's Acosta. Oh, what a ball from Acosta. Arbita. Get in. Get in. What a lovely start to the Premier League. And also our two fantastic new signings, our two most exciting new signings, Acosta and Albita, combining there, which is lovely. Acosta as well, that's what I mean, we can play as a box-to-box midfielder. That was from deep. That's from a deep position with a great through ball to Albita. He showed great composure and we're 1-0 up against Chelsea. Get in. What a lovely start to the match. What a lovely start to the season. We're not going to be negative at home to these big clubs. We can beat these big clubs at home. Long way to go yet, but we're looking good in this game. We're looking good. 32 minutes on the clock and we're back on the highlight again. Here's Kostad. Only 18 years of age and his full Premier League debut playing against Chelsea. Let's hope the nerves don't get the better of him. Here's Gonzalez. Back to Van Hecker. He's been here before, Van Hecker. Oh my word, Guevara's giving the ball away though. Jota's through on goal. Oh my word, what a tackle. Oh no, it was in vain. It was in vain. What a tackle by Kostad though. Unfortunately, went back to, was it Mason Mount there who scored? Well, that led from Guevara, unfortunately. He developed really nicely for us, Guevara, but that was disappointing. Yeah, it was a good tackle by Kostad there, but it fell to Mount and he's just tapped it into the empty net. So that is disappointing. Back on level terms. And also Chelsea is starting to get the momentum in the match now. All in all, can't complain too much of that first half. You look at the match stats now. A draw, 1-1 at half time is probably a fair result, but still got a chance to win the game, of course. I think Olsen might have an injury here. He does have an injury, which is disappointing. You know, I'm going to bring on Canute for Olsen. Hopefully we can play a bit better in the second half than towards the end of the first half there, because towards the end of the first half, Chelsea were a better team. And here they are on the highlight again. Bilalic is way out of position. I don't know what he's doing there. And Gonzalez just, gives the ball away. Another tap in for Chelsea. Oh my word, it started off so nice for us, but now we're 2-1 down in the game, which, it's very annoying actually. We started off the game really well, scored that goal, but they're just two tap-ins for Chelsea. Gonzalez, I don't know what he's doing here, to be honest. What is he doing? It looked like he just backheeled it to Zalewski. Very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Well, Chelsea are having all the domination now in the game. Got a long throw opportunity here though. Bilalic to take it. It's cleared. Now here's Mount. He passes it back to Tapsoba. Oh, here come Chelsea again. Here's Havertz. Said one of the best players in the league, apparently, Havertz. Oh, my word. Oh, now it's gone from bad to worse. Kappenberger with a howler in goal. And all of a sudden we're 3-1 down. Wow. I was checking the goal, but it is a goal anyway. I didn't see what was wrong with that, to be honest. Let's look at Kappenberger here. He's got to be saving that. He's got to be saving that well. This is really poor now, actually. It's actually a poor start to the season. It started off really well, 1-0 up. But ever since we went 1-0 up, Chelsea have been a better team in the game. Well, it's definitely a massive risk, but I decided to go to a 4-2-4 in this game now. This could get ugly now. We could lose about 5 or 6-1, but decided, no, I've got to risk it, haven't we? We've got to risk it. I brought Pellegrini on for Guevara. He's gone up front as a target forward and attack. And also I brought on Iliev for his debut as well. He's come on for Bakwa. As I said, as a thing that started off very promising, it's been quite a disappointing performance now, to be honest. They've scored pretty much all their big chances they had in the game, so that's really annoying. Can we get a second goal back here, though? Here's Bilalic with the ball to Iliev, just on the pitch. Poor cross, though. Terrible cross. Kostad with good cover in there. It's not a great debut, but he's only 18 years of age and he's playing his debut against Chelsea, so can't be too harsh on the lad. They give the ball away to Albita. He did score a goal, but he's been rather quiet other than that, to be honest. The three centre-backs have kept him quiet. But here he is again. Acosta with another great ball forward. Oh my word, what a finish. He might be offside, but that could be goal of the season. Goal of the season contender in the first game week. If it's a goal. Oh, it's disallowed. It's disappointing. Disappointing. Acosta, though, he's looking good with his balls forward, isn't he? As I said, from deep position as well again. Yeah, Albita is very far offside there. More offside than Jota early on in the game. 24 minutes to go. Can we salvage anything from the game? If it goes 4-1, I think it's safe to say it's game over. If it goes 3-2, though, definitely got a chance. They give the ball away. Now here's Acosta again. Do another free ball, Acosta. He does. Finds Iliev this time. Got to score, Pellegrini. This Acosta is unbelievable with his through balls, isn't he? What a player he is. Oh my word, I'm very excited already. No one come in for him for 35 million, please. He's unbelievable. He keeps falling into these deep positions. Why not play in there anyway? As I said, great ball. Iliev to Pellegrini. Now suddenly we have a chance in the game. 3-2 in the game. Back on the highlight again. What a classic this is, the start of the new season. Here's Blalic again to Canute. Oh, he tries to find Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets there. Oh, poor cross. Poor cross from Gonzalez, that. Oh, they get the ball away, though. Here's Canute. Back to Kostad. Here's Blalic. He's put off the through balls. Iliev's got to score. Oh, what a waste. What a waste from Iliev. Terrible composure there. Oh, well, we're definitely creating chances, though, aren't we? Got a corner, Rocha to take it. Nice, cleared. Iliev's there. Stay on the highlight. Back to Rocha. He's offside. How pathetic is that? I decided to bring on a Comey for Blalic for the last 15 minutes or so here. Let's see what Comey can do. Obviously, he's a left back, but he's a better going forward left back than Blalic there, so we shall see. Anyway, great classic to start off the new season. Of course, if we lose the game, still some positive signs to take from it going forward. Got attacking now for the last 5 minutes or so, but I think the game has just fizzled out here. Yeah, it's just fizzled out here, but obviously it's not a great start to the new season. We have lost the game, but going forward, definitely got some promising signs. And also, we didn't concede too many chances defensively. Obviously, Chelsea are a well-established Premier League team, one of the best Premier League teams there is. So, yeah, they converted some of their chances, but definitely positive going forward. And although we lost the game, definitely some positive signs to take from it. Acosta, he has got some great through ball abilities, it seems, so that is brilliant. 7.1 from him. Also, Iliev came off the bench to get an assist. Pellegrini scored off the bench as well. Obviously, it's not some great performances. Rocha, 6.3. Haven't quite figured out his best position yet, but he's obviously a great talent still. Gonzalez, 6.1 as well. Yeah, some games to forget here, but also positive signs. Hopefully, we can do better going forward. Well, unfortunately, we lost the game here, lost the first game of the season, but the good news is we've got some very favourable fixtures coming up, which is great. Away to Norwich next, of course, one of the favourites to go down. Got Sheffield United and QPR as well. Brentford and West Ham, so surely we've got to win a few of these games going forward. I really hope we can, especially our home games. Home Sheffield United, home to Brentford as well. Norwich away, definitely winnable as well. Away to QPR, definitely winnable as well. So hopefully we get some results in these games. In terms of the next episode though, guys, I think I'm going to bring you back for the games away to Everton and at home to Watford. In terms of new signings, well, obviously Doué should be joining us. Hopefully he does join us, unless he doesn't reject the contract. So that would be great to get him in. The only other position I might strengthen in is another forward player. We shall see, depending on money, of course. If I can find a very good cheap one or a good loan signing, then I will go in for them. But it looks like the transfers will be done if Doué signs, of course. If not, I'll have to look for another centre midfielder, that is for sure. But yeah, it looks like the transfers are done apart from Doué, so that is all good. And as I said, join for the next episode, guys. Away to Everton and at home to Watford. And again, please remember that if you do like the video, to that like button for me. It's very, very important. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It really helped me out and it's much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.